Subscribe for more videos. Let's get started. This is your final warning. We are diving deep into Predator, killer of killers. Every major twist, brutal death, and heartbreaking moment will be revealed. If you haven't seen the film yet, turn back now. Otherwise, let's begin. The screen opens with darkness. Then, a voice. Ancient, guttural, yet precise. It speaks the code of the Yautja, the predators. Single sentence etches across the stars. Go forth among the stars and seek only the strongest prey. They shall be your trophy. Become the killer of killers. From that moment, we know. This is not just a hunt. It's an ascension. Scandinavia, 841 AD. The sea churns beneath the blood-red skies. A Viking ship slices through the waves, led by the fearsome Queen Ursa, played by Lindsay Levanchi. Beside her stands her son, Anders, portrayed with fire and fear by Damien Haas. He is young. Too young. But this world doesn't wait for boys to become men. It drags them through blood until they come out hardened steel. They arrive at the ruins of a Krivich village. Smoke, corpses, silence. One survivor is dragged from the rubble. Ursa demands to know the location of Zoran, the warlord who destroyed everything they once were. When the man hesitates, she plants an axe in his side, then calmly, coldly tells her son to kill him. The man warns Anders, "Your first death will never leave you." But Ursa doesn't wait. She ends him in a single brutal strike. Above them, the sky shifts, and a ship begins to descend. Before they hunt Zoran, Ursa tells Anders why this revenge matters. Years ago, Zoran forced her father, Einar, played with quiet nobility by Cockle, to make a choice. Kill him, or force his daughter to do it. Einar chose vengeance through her hands. As Zoran's blade slid through his heart, Ursa swore she would finish what her father started. They reach Zoran's camp the next day. The air is thick with blood and destiny. The Vikings charge, and the slaughter begins. Ursa fights like a storm made flesh, hacking, burning, roaring her way through Zoran's men. When they reach him, he barely recognizes her, until she says her father's name. He laughs, mocks her, until Anders swings. A single blow. Zoran's head hits the ground. Victory! And then, the real nightmare begins. A hulking shape crashes into the clearing. Massive. Unstoppable. The Predator. It doesn't fight with style. It murders with art. One Viking's skull is crushed with a punch. Another is forced into his own blade. Anders stands frozen. A boy staring into the abyss. The Predator prepares to strike, but Ursa dives in, taking the sonic blast full force and vanishing into the river. Underwater, the battle turns primal. No words, just instinct and pain. Ursa outsmarts the beast, using her shield to deflect its own weapon. Launching it downward, where an anchor impales its skull, she drags herself back to the surface barely alive, only to find Anders dying. His final words, "Did you kill it?" She lies beside his body and cries. The next time we see her, she's not a queen but a prisoner. A collar chokes her neck. She is not alone. Japan, 1609. We meet two brothers, Kenji and Kiyoshi Kamakami, both voiced with haunting emotion by Louis Ozawa. They live beneath the shadow of their father, a cold and brutal warlord. To him, strength is proven in blood. So he forces his sons to fight. Kenji refuses. Kiyoshi does not. A single slash across the cheek ends their bond. Kenji disappears. 20 years pass. The warlord dies, with only Kiyoshi by his side. Now a lord himself, he rules alone. But Kenji has returned, not as a noble, but as a shinobi, a ghost. While Kiyoshi mourns power, Kenji mourns the past. He infiltrates the fortress and confronts his brother. Another duel. This time, Kenji returns the same cut. Kiyoshi falls into the river. Gone, or so it seems. Then, the sky trembles. The second predator descends. 3 guards are slaughtered in seconds. Limbs torn, throats ripped. Kenji flees across rooftops. The beast gives chase. Invisible. Merciless. but Kenji manages to wound it. On the ground below, Kiyoshi rises. Bleeding. Furious, the brothers face off, but the real enemy is already watching. They join forces. The sword of one, the spirit of two, they fight, like twin flames, drawing the predator into its own trap. It detonates a bomb, only to find itself visible, vulnerable. A single leaf drifts onto its camouflaged form. Kenji and Kiyoshi charge. Their blades strike as one. The predator falls, sliced into 3 perfect pieces. Kiyoshi bleeds out beside the river. Kenji holds him. You're not alone, he says. His brother's last breath slips into silence. When we see Kenji next, he's in the same cell as Ursa. Another caller, another soul claimed by the hunters. Florida, 1941. John Torres, played with firecracker intensity by Rick Gonzalez, is under the hood of a car with his father, portrayed by Felix Solis. The engine's dead. Draft papers are in his hand. Torres dreams of flying. But now, he's being sent to war. He reports to Captain Van D, a gruff, battle-scarred leader played by Biehn. Torres becomes a wildcat pilot. But his dreams shatter fast. One of the planes comes back, shredded by something not human. Van D leads a squadron to investigate. Torres is told to stay behind. He doesn't. He steals a plane. The predator in this chapter is a sky hunter. A pilot with claws. It cuts through planes like paper. Explosions bloom across the sky. Van D is ripped apart. Torres dodges and weaves, tricking the predator into enemy fire. Its ship crashes into the water. But it's not over. It rises. Damaged, angry, Torres baits it again, letting it harpoon his plane. Then he lets go. The harpoon yanks the predator's own engine free. It swings up and smashes the ship into oblivion. Victory. Years later, in his garage, Torres hears a sound. Not thunder. A ship. He's taken. And now the arena. 3 humans, 3 killers of killers. Ursa, Kenji, and Torres. Different tongues, same fate. Their collars are bombs. Their captor is no ordinary predator. He is the warlord, the Grendel King. He declares the rules. Only one will survive. Then, the victor must face him. They're each handed weapons from their time. An axe. A sword. A flintlock pistol. Torres refuses to fight. Kenji proposes a plan. But Ursa, she's done running. She wants to die, to see her son again. Then, the gates open. A beast is unleashed. Massive, slavering, unstoppable. It swallows Torres whole. Kenji and Ursa brace for death. But inside the monster, Torres fights. Wounds it. Kills it. He explodes out of its corpse, deactivates the collars, and gives them a chance. They run for a predator ship. The warlord appears. A harpoon stops the ship. Ursa stays behind. Her axe meets steel, and she severs the harpoon. Kenji and Torres escape. The warlord watches them fly. He raises his arm and snarls, "Let's go hunting!" And the hunt begins again. Ursa, barely breathing, is placed in stasis. Around her, others, survivors, warriors, including one familiar face, Naru, the Comanche hunter from Prey. The message is clear. The predators are collecting champions, and something bigger is coming. This is not the end. It's the beginning of a war. That was Predator, Killer of Killers, a brutal, emotional, globe-spanning tale of vengeance, brotherhood, sacrifice, and survival. If you liked this breakdown, subscribe for more. And remember, when the stars open, only the strongest survive. Stay subscribed for more videos.